tonight, 20 lads battle to see who is next in line to get their ass royally kicked by Walter.
Gentlemen, raise your beverages. It's an NXT party.
I don't know if you can see this because the camera's up there for him.
No, I cannot see anything. What's up? Do I got a booger or something?
No.
There it is. It's cool.
It's whatever.
It's cool.
It's in the past.
Yep.
It's cute. It's all cute. It's cute.
It's good.
It's all good.
It's cute.
It's good.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good. Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 89 of NXT UK. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stefan Osborne, joined as always by the General, Jerry Slaughter.
Good evening, wrestling fans.
And tonight we are joined by Colin Andrew, the Cleaver. How's it going, sir?
Oh, it's good, man. It's going good. Got out of the house. Made a little cash money today. So, you know, between that and NXT UK, it's a good day.
It was a good day. I was surprised by this show. I was expecting a little bit of something for the 20-man over-the-top rope Battle Royal that we get for the main event. But, man, they put on a good show. We got 3 matches. That was one of them. That was most of the time that we had here. But the other 2 matches were women's matches. And that sounds surprising, but I think they did a good job.
Yeah.
They start the show off by hyping the main event. We get all 20 dudes. This is going to be a packed ring, but we'll get there. We start the night off with Kaylee Ray and Jenny versus Dani Luna and Piper Niven. This was a match we knew about coming in. Colin, what do you think about the opening women's tag match here?
I thought it was a really good match. We haven't seen Jenny in action in a while, ever since her and Jazzy Gabbert were a thing. And it's been a little while since Jazzy Gabbert was released, or got her release, whatever that situation was, from NXT UK. But I thought this was a great match. Dani Luna really impressed me in this match. She had some really awesome power moves, in my opinion. I wasn't really too fond of her in her singles match that I watched last week, as I've kind of fell off a little bit from NXT UK. But it was a really good match to see. Kaylee Ray and Piper Niven, we know there is beef there between them, and just when you think Piper's really going to get her hands on Kaylee Ray, but there's Jenny to stop her, or it's making this feud that's going to obviously be Piper versus Kaylee for the title eventually. It just kind of drawn it out a little bit, but I really enjoyed this match.
Jerry?
I only had really one beef with this match because I love Jenny to pieces. I think she's probably the best female wrestler that they have over there right now in NXT UK. That, and I don't really care for Piper Niven. But at the end of this match, you have Jenny and Kaylee Ray standing tall in the middle of the ring, but not once does Jenny make any attack on Kaylee Ray or even eyeball the championship in any way, shape, or form. And that's something that she's been, wanting for ages now. So I'm guessing she's going to take a backseat role to this whole feud and get stuck in another feud with Dani Luna, I'm guessing. But I'm not really sold on that. Then I don't know who would be the face in the match between Jenny and Kaylee Ray, but either way, I'd still want to see them battle.
So what I got out of this match was Danny Luna is being built up to look like a new contender because she looked great in this match.
Mm-hmm.
There was a spot in here where I think Jenny is going for a guillotine head
scissor
submission, and she deadlifts her into a suplex. It was great. There's a spot where she countered Jenny's head scissors with a backbreaker. That was super cool. Let's see. Kaylee Ray pulls Piper Niven off the apron, though, when she's going for the tag. And since Luna can't get the tag, she starts chasing Kaylee Ray, chases her back into the ring, where she catches a capo kick, a rolling capo kick from Jenny,
yeah.
Which was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, she gets the hot tag to Niven, and she counters a Hurricane Rana with a buckle bomb, and then a cannonball, and then goes for the Vader bomb onto Jenny, but Kaylee Ray gets up on the ring and distracts her, so Jenny comes up and fucking pulls her off the top, face first into the buckle. Eventually, Jenny pushes Nivens into the steps, which takes her out of the ring, but Luna attempts a roll-up off of the distraction. Jenny kicks out of the roll-up, or no, I think Kaylee Ray kicks out of the roll-up.
Yeah.
And Jenny catches her with a forearm from the apron, and then right into the gory bomb for the pinfall. Good match.
Oh, yeah. It was a nice, solid back and forth. And Niven didn't move anything after eating the steps. She just kind of laid there.
You saw that that run she had with that triple spot on Jenny, but other than that, Piper Niven just looked clunky in this match.
Mm-hmm.
She again tried that running cross body to somebody that's sitting on the mat, and she looked like she almost crushed Jenny's pelvis.
Mm-hmm.
Just clunky. Luna looked great though. I think that was the point.
I think that was the whole deal for this match.
But at the same time, they want to make Kaylee Ray look strong, and she has. She's been a very dominant champ, albeit kind of boring, still dominant.
Mm-hmm.
So I like this match. Next week, though, we were worried about this. This is like the last live crowd that we've got on WWE television for who knows how long. Next week, we are going to get the rise of NXT UK. So this is kind of like a let's get this out of the way now. You know, normally we would be promoting matches next week. We'd be promoting matches 2 weeks from now even. But all we have to promote is an hour-long video package, probably.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably watch it. I don't know if we'll do a video on it. We'll see. But in the meantime, that is the bad news. The good news is we still got Gallus going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get a video package for Gallus. Standard, good, really good NXT UK video package.
Nothing really that you have to say about them except for the fact that they're dominant.
Yeah, it hypes up a little bit Joe for the main event, the 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. They remind us of this before we get our second match of the night. A male versus Zaya Brookside.
The returning Zaya Brookside.
Who has white hair, and I dig it. Went straight past that blue-gray right into white. Pretty cool. I don't have any notes for this match other than the ending, man. What did you think about it?
I thought it was a really great return for her. The match kind of was very slow-moving, but the double knees to the corner, which I am now calling the bee's knees. Yeah, because Brookside, bee's knees. Yeah. Go ahead and use it. You know you want to.
Well, her entrance logo is like this star on a bee.
Yeah, with wings.
Wings. Yeah. So
it looks like an airline logo. So that actually works out because she calls herself Air Brookside. So
she follows that move up with what she calls the broken wings, which is essentially a backstabber, but she uses the bottom of both feet when she does it, and then kind of like flips them through it. And pinned a male for 1, 2, 3.
So you think this was a solid return for Zaya Brookside, or what do you see happening with her, Colin?
Honest opinion, I don't see jack shit happening with her. I don't. I mean, I've never really been impressed by her since day one. She's there because of Daddy, in my opinion, and
which would be a good heel thing.
I mean, cool return. Good for her. She hasn't been on since last year, they said. So, I mean, we are in April. So, I mean, good for her. Cool, she got the win, but I mean, she doesn't really do it for me. A male could have potential if they book her right, because I mean, she's got. I mean, it could have potential.
Yeah.
If booked right, but honestly, I just see Zaya as another mid Carter.
You think she'll probably get teamed up with Candy Floss after a bit?
I mean, maybe whenever she comes back. When's the last time we saw her?
That's what I said.
She hasn't been on since she got signed.
So,
yeah, she was on the show way more before she got signed. Now that she's signed, they're like,
nah, we're not gonna put you on.
Just stay somewhere and get paid.
NXT UK has got this thing where they like to find these young cats, these cats and kittens, if you will. Tyler Bate is a good example on the men's side. Difference was Tyler Bate is a whole different breed. Like he was super young, but also super capable. Some of these female wrestlers, like Zaya Brookside, who they bring in and put in the ring a lot because of her last name, is still just fairly green. I don't think she's terrible or anything. She's just new. And she's still kind of clunky in the ring, and we saw that in this match, which is fine for, independent shows, which I guess is what she's been doing. They said she went to Japan. Well, what the fuck else would she be going to Japan for other than to do some shows over there? Probably promoting the brand a little bit. But yeah, she's been training, and sure, that's fine, but don't expect her to be great now, and that's why I agree with you. She's not really going to go anywhere just yet. They're going to keep seasoning her as much as that they can. This was fine for some seasoning. Mel has gotten 0 wins since she's been here, so it's okay for Brookside to beat her because Brookside has gotten some wins. So I thought this was an okay match. It might have been middle of the road, but we've seen worse, and so I was fine with it. Did what it needed to do. It got Zaya Brookside over.
Yep.
That brings us to the main event. 20 men, and I've got them all listed. No, I didn't list them twice. Joe Coffey, Saxon Huxley, Tyson T-Bone, Ligero, Dave Mastiff, Travis Banks, Jordan Devlin, Ilya Dragunov, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Noam Dar, A-Kid, Oliver Carter, Amir Jordan, Kenny Williams, Alexander Wolf, Rich Holland, Flash Morgan Webster, Cassius Ohno, and Ashton Smith. Fuck.
In a partridge.
It's a lot of humanity in the ring, and the match starts off with all of the small humanity looking up at the 3 guys that sort of kind of tower over them, Cassius Ohno being the tallest of all of them. But they're looking at Dave Mastiff and I think Rich Holland, because these are the big guys. And eventually Cassius Ohno realizes what's going on, and he begs off a little, heads toward the ropes, and he's like, y'all do what you gotta do. I'm just gonna watch from over here. And
it's like Mastiff's the biggest one in here. Just take him.
Everybody gathered together and fucking
annihilated Cassius Ohno.
Yeah, they threw him out.
Yeah,
all together. Yep. I don't know who gets the nod for actually throwing him out.
Oh no, they all worked for it.
Yeah, they gangbanged his ass. So after this, what were your thoughts on how the main event unfolded, Colin?
I thought it was good. So Ridge Holland, I don't know if you guys watch when the camera angle is at the wide angle, kind of upwards and stuff. He's in there just throwing people around from the back. He looks like an old school 2002 little Brock Lesnar. But I mean, so we got something set up actually through. Speaking of Ridge Holland was pretty dominant in this match, and he got distracted by Joseph Connors grabbing his nightstick and his little hat and banging the stairs and stuff. And he got distracted. I can't remember exactly who threw him out, but so we're getting something out of that, which is cool. The winner.
It was actually Coffey and Dragunov that threw him out.
Thank you.
No problem.
The winner was not expecting him, but makes sense. I'll let you guys say who that was. But I really enjoyed this main event, and especially when it came down to the final 4. I loved how every one of them did their signature pose in the corner, and then they all started trading shots, and how 2 of them started out, and then 2 would swap, and then the other 2 would swap, and it was just they all took hits on each other, and I really enjoyed it. I mean, normally battle royals they're battle royals. It is what it is, but I really enjoyed this. Again, the winner, I was not expecting it, but it makes a lot of sense, and I'm happy with it.
This was produced really well. Even down to getting to the final four, there was a lot of spots in there that were just so well done. They're furthering storylines, they're starting new ones, and I have got an entire page of notes. I'm going to break this match down as best as I can, as quickly as I can, but I feel like some of this stuff is worth mentioning, so I don't want to skip any of it. But once it got down to the final four, this turned into like a fatal four-way match, and then a triple threat, and then when it got down to just Tyler Bate and Ilya Dragunov, this turned into a one-on-one fight for a bit, like it should be. And Jerry mentioned to me that wouldn't it be great if at the end of an over-the-top rope battle royal, once it gets down to the last two, regular rules apply. Ref gets in the ring and we get a pinfall or submission. I'm like, sure, yeah, kinda, but the idea of the battle royal is that you have this way of telling the story other than what you normally get with a one-on-one. So, you know, when they start sending each other over the top rope onto the apron, and then they're battling to see who can knock the other off, or maybe both of them are on the apron and who gets knocked off first, kind of thing, you know, there's a different kind of story. So we'll see where they go, and I was impressed. I enjoyed the ending of it. I figured Tyler Bate was gonna win, but I wasn't sure. He made a good, and I'll let him roll that out, he made a good argument as to why Tyler Bate really should win this match. So I'm going to turn it over to you. What were your thoughts on the main event?
I thoroughly enjoyed it. And you know me, I really don't care much for Battle Royals. I don't really like the Royal Rumble. I don't like really any over-the-top Battle Royal. But, like, for some reason, this match just felt awesome. There was a whole bunch of great spots in it. And then you had Jordan Devlin just flat out being dominant in the middle of it, and that was great. Noam Dar, he was hilarious because he's Noam Dar. And I won't say the wrong person won. I'm gonna say, because I think either way, if Tyler Bate or Dragunov, like either one of them winning was gonna be good. But Dragunov, yes, he's got his history with Imperium, so that's gonna be interesting for him to face off against Walter. But my idea was Tyler Bate wins and uses that as pretty much leverage to bring Finn Balor back in, so he can actually face off against him, putting up his title shot just to get a chance at Finn Balor. So, but if they're going to do that, they still may, who knows, or we'll get Tyler Bate versus Finn Balor before we get anything else. But I can't be angry about this Battle Royal. The Battle Royal was great.
Well, we know one way or the other they are building towards Finn Balor versus Walter. I like your idea of Tyler Bate being able to say, hey, I've got what you want. I have an opportunity at Walter. You don't. So if you come back, I will put that on the line if you give me a match. And then Finn Balor gets the opportunity at Walter off of that. And then we don't have to see Tyler Bate versus Walter again. On the other hand, Ilya Dragunov was the last one in this match that has not had a match with Walter yet. And I would rather see that than another match with Joe Coffey or another match with Tyler Bate. So, I feel like Dragunov is fine for the win.
Oh yeah,
he's another contender that somebody knew, but he's also somebody that Walter's likely to beat and move on to Finn Balor. So,
but he also worked his way through Imperium, if you think about it too, because he already had his matches with Alexander Wolf, and I think he did have some sort of match with versus Eichner and Bartel at some point too.
So we start off the match with Ono getting again gangbanged by everybody, thrown out, and then
the only American, and he gets thrown out first.
At first we think Huxley is the next one out, but somehow he's back in the ring. Maybe he only got thrown out through the middle or something.
I think somebody said, there goes Huxley, and I thought, okay, he got eliminated, but then I saw him eliminating people, and I'm like,
yeah. So Saxon eliminates Kenny Williams. He is the first honest to God one out, and I'm just like, yeah, this serves Kenny Williams. Try skinning the cat here. Can't skin the cat here because they're saving that for later. He also let's see, Joe Coffey knocks Flash Morgan Webster off of a springboard that he was attempting to eliminate him. That was fun looking. Amir Jordan head scissors Huxley out, so he pulls him over the top rope. Let's see. A-Kid is thrown over the top rope and lands on Huxley, who's still on the outside. Puts a sleeper on him, gets him like roaming around like about to pass out. Finally, he gets close enough to the ring that A-Kid jumps back in the ring and is saved from elimination. So,
and then at this point, Stefan's like, "Oh God, they're gonna let A-Kid win this match."
Yeah, why else have the spot, right? But then again, Kofi
Kingston
has that
so many
spot all the
spots,
time and
yeah.
never wins. So whatever. Travis Banks eliminates Tyson T-Bone. Dave Mastiff hits a choke bomb onto Banks off of that and then eliminates him. Let's see. Mastiff drops Amir Jordan. Now, he backdrops him over the top rope. Amir Jordan is, I think, supposed to land on the apron. 1 foot lands, 1 foot doesn't. Splits his legs. He goes balls first into the corner of the apron. The hardest part of the ring, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Like, it splits his yam bag in half, and he goes sailing into the mat on the outside, just like with this like look of what the fuck just happened. And I'm like, dude, in about 3/4 of a second, your nuts are gonna let you know exactly what the fuck just happened. I think there was a real brief instance of that adrenaline rushing down. He didn't feel it, he didn't know, but he's gonna know. Holy crap, what a spot! I lost where I was. Let's see. Yeah, he goes balls first in the corner of the apron. Let's see. We get that spot where we saw Oliver Carter and Ashton Smith a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week.
It was last
where
week.
Oliver Carter skins the cat over the top rope onto Ashton Smith, who's on the apron, who springs him back into the ring. So he gets back in the ring only to duck Ridge Holland, who just knocks Ashton Smith off, and then does a belly-to-belly overhead suplex to Oliver Carter over the top rope onto Ashton Smith. That was cool.
And they hang out for a little bit.
And then Mastiff hip tosses Ligero over the top rope onto Smith and Carter, eliminates him. Then Joseph Connors comes out and he grabs the billy club and the hat of Ridge Holland, distracts him long enough for, as Jerry said, Joe Coffey and Ilya Dragunov to run up and throw him over the top rope. Meanwhile, Joseph Connors is leaving, tips the hat, and then throws it Ridge Holland's way. I don't know why Joseph Connors wasn't in this match. Wasn't he advertised for this last week?
No.
Didn't he say he was going to show the world why he's takeover worthy?
He was saying that for...
He's not Battle Royal worthy, though.
No.
Not even close. Yeah, close enough to cause somebody to win. But I like this. This is going to be a feud continuing, I think, coming out of this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mustache Mountain ends up doing a double airplane in the ring to Devlin and A-Kid. They pose together. And then Trent Seven bop and bangs Tyler Bate. And Bate goes for the Peter Pan lariat, but he ducks, does his own Peter Pan lariat off the top rope, knocks out Tyler Bate. That was cool to see that start to happen. We called this a long time ago, but then again,
God.
at this point, anybody could call it.
Was it really a Peter Pan lariat from Trent Seven, or he just kind of really bounced off?
It was exactly what Tyler Bate does. Head under the top rope, arms above it.
It was a Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, like it didn't look like he got like air at all. But
well, the crowd was behind this, but they were also behind Coffey eliminating him. So take what you want out of that. And then this is where Jordan Devlin starts to go off the chain. Okay, so A-Kid tries to go do a springboard off the top rope. He's already been thrown over, and Jordan Devlin just headbutts the fuck out of him, knocks him off. There's an elimination. And then he catches Joe. He does that lion salt where he catches Joe for the reverse DDT. And then, who was it? Ilya Dragunov goes to hit him. He ducks him, so catches him in a Uranagi. So he does that super, Jerry calls it the deluxe.
The deluxe edition of Devlin's greatest hits.
Number 1. So he does the reverse DDT with the Uranagi on top of Joe. And then they both kind of fall next to each other. And he does the standing moonsault onto both. Brilliance. And then does a slingshot cutter to Wolf. And then runs into a Spanish fly onto Tyler Bate. And then he poses to the crowd, and Noam Dar sneaks up behind him and throws him over the top rope.
Now, this next part... Oh, go ahead, Colin.
Do you think we're going to get Devlin and Dar now?
Well, we were thinking maybe Devlin and A-Kid, but I would rather see Devlin and Dar. To be honest, we've probably seen this match before, but I wouldn't mind seeing it again, especially the way they've let Noam Dar be this naturally funny character in the ring.
That would actually be a takeover-worthy match, I believe. Devlin versus Dar, at least an opener.
Well, Dar turns around and he goes face-to-face with Mastiff.
He initially doesn't even turn around. He just backs up, and then he actually just does that. Oh, shit, look. Because he just knows.
Mastiff picks him up and does that rolling senton into a running senton into the cannonball in the corner. And then he goes to throw Dar out, but Dar pulls Mastiff over much the same way Rey Mysterio did. And the rest of the ring realizes Mastiff is halfway out, and they're like, duh. They all run over and eliminate Mastiff. So there you go. Mastiff gets thrown out. But then Tyler Bate eliminates Dar with a rolling heel kick. And then now we're down to Alexander Wolf, Ilya Dragunov, Joe Coffey, and Tyler Bate. Everybody's on the mat.
This is when
this
shit
is
hits
where
the fan.
they all get up in the corners, they do their poses, and we hit the breakdown. Joe eventually gets the upper hand on Ilya Dragunov and does that butterfly swing, sets him down, back body drops Wolf right back into the swing, into an overhead suplex, and then hits this leap up crossbody where he runs into the corner, jumps off the middle buckle into the top buckle, and then turns around into a cross body. I just mentioned that because I've never seen Coffey do some shit like that.
I think he broke out with it against Walter.
So he hit that on Bate, and then stacks up Bate with Ilya Dragunov in the corner and does the Glasgow send-off to both of them. And then Wolf throws Coffey over the top rope. He hangs on, but then he grabs Ilya Dragunov and throws him into Coffey, knocking Coffey off the top rope. So this furthers that shit going on. That was great. Even though Ilya wins, but, you know, whatever. Let's see. Wolf ends up hitting a pump kick to Bate. And then, I mentioned this because it was so cool looking. I call it a launching German suplex. What he hit on Bate was he threw him up into the air. And at the peak of where Bate would go with that force, he just yanks him down into a German suplex. I've never seen a German suplex done like this.
Very, very, very well done.
If you can't imagine what I'm talking about, go back and watch. It is worth looking at. Again, I've seen probably thousands of German suplexes in my days. Don't forget where I was.
Nasty German suplex.
Bate counters a throw over with the Peter Pan and hits. Okay, so Wolf is trying to throw Bate over the top rope, and he kind of hits the top rope like the Peter Pan, throws it back, and then does the Peter Pan lariat onto Wolf, and then Ilya ends up eliminating Wolf off of that. Now we're down to Tyler Bate and Ilya Dragunov. Bate hits the Peter Pan lariat. Ilya bounces right off of that into a 6-1 line. Both of them are down. They get back up and they just start trading spots, trying to get each other. At one point, they're both on the apron next to the corner, and they're trying to. I think Ilya Dragunov is hitting these chops that are Walter-like, trying to knock Bate off. And it's those spot where he's hanging on by one hand and one foot on the corner, and you're like, some shit could happen right here.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are sweaty probably. Like this is stupid, but he hangs on. Eventually they get back in the ring, and Bate gets sent over the top rope, and he skins the cat. Like I said, we were waiting on the cat skin. You know, other than the springboard one, that spring off of Ashton Smith. That one is just in a league of its own. He goes to skin the cat, and Ilya Dragunov runs up on him, hits the
Torpedo Moscow.
There we go. Thank you. Torpedo Moscow sends him flying towards the ramp. Ilya Dragunov wins. This was just they were countering each other's finishers because he countered the Torpedo Moscow, went for the Tyler driver, but that's where he gets sent over the top rope to skin the cat. Like, great ending. And I kind of glazed over them being the last two, but there was a good 5 or 6 minutes where it was just them versus each other. This boiled down to
it felt like a match.
It was great. And that's all I'm going to say about it, because that brings us to the end of the main event. And here on the NXT party, we like to rate the main event using good old-fashioned NXT. So, Colin, out of 5 spots, where do you rate this 20-man over-the-top rope Battle Royal for the #1 contendership for the NXT UK Championship?
I I am going to start out with a 4. I really thought this match had awesome things in it, with feuds being set up, with feuds continuing. Like I said, I was not expecting Dragunov, but I'm cool with it. I'm a Dragunov fan. We know there's unfinished business there with Walter and him, which they're bringing back, which is cool. Tyler Bate and Trent Seven, I mean, that first pop and bang, that was so fucking beautiful. Like, so I'm excited to see where that goes. I thought it was a very good match, and it was the last live crowd match that we're going to see for a while, like you said at the beginning of the show. And so with that, and the fact that I did enjoy the women's tag match to open it, I'm going to give it an extra quarter spot. So I'm going to go 4 1/4.
Jerry?
He pretty much took the words out of my mouth. Like with me, like Battle Royals aren't really that great, but this one set up enough different stories and ended unexpectedly, especially for me, who I thought Finn Balor was going to play some sort of role in this match. Like, my initial thought was he's going to take out Alexander Wolf right on the ramp before he even came out and take his spot in the Battle Royal, and nobody was going to say shit about it. But we end up getting something I think probably even better, just something that kind of prolongs it so that, like, the Finn Balor-Walter match can actually happen. So I'm all about giving this Battle Royal a 4, and then just off the surprise and the fact that like that last segment actually felt like a takeover match in itself, give it an extra quarter. So 4 1/4 for me as well.
Well, you guys know I start great at 4,
Mm-hmm.
so I consider this a great match, and I'm going to start it at 4. I'm going to start it at 4 1/4 because this was a really because think about it. Like Colin said, with a Battle Royal, usually it is just you get what you get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just
and you don't throw a fit.
You know, there's not a whole lot of substance to any. This whole match had substance
Mm-hmm.
from the very beginning. All of the British guys throwing Cassius Ohno the fuck over the top rope, especially since he happens to be the tallest guy in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this whole match had substance from beginning to end. I'm going to start it at 4 1/4. I'm going to give it an extra quarter because of all of the stories that were told, started, whatever. Like Colin mentioned, the first bop and bang from Trent Seven to Tyler Bate. Joseph Connors coming out and interfering to get at least Ridge Holland out of there because he wasn't considered even Battle Royal worthy. You know, all of these little storylines going on. I'm going to give it an extra quarter, bring it to 4 1/2. I'm going to give it an extra quarter off the back of a great show because I thought the women's match to start the show, the tag team match, was really good, if not great. The next women's match was fine. And the whole show went really quickly up until this. This was the meat and potatoes of the show, and it very much exceeded my expectations. I'm going to level this at 4 3/4. I was thinking about giving it a 5, honestly. You know what? This is the last live crowd we are getting for who knows how long. I'm going to give this 5 spots of NXT.
I'm going to give it an extra quarter just based off that and the crowd reaction, like standing up with after all that whole segment with Jordan Devlin. So 4 1/2 for me.
Yeah, Devlin got a standing ovation during this match. It wasn't even over. It was right before he got eliminated. He got a standing ovation. And then the perfect spot for Noam Dar to come in and ruin everybody's mood by throwing him over the top rope.
Yes.
And then turn into date. Like, this match was brilliant. I'm giving it 5 spots of NXT.
A perfect score from the Wizard.
A perfect score from Wiz Fresh.
I'm not changing my mind because I don't know what happened last time I changed my mind.
Last time we changed our mind, everybody lost a point.
Everybody lost, so I changed my mind. 4 1/4.
I'm not going to apologize for being a master debater.
He prides himself on it.
Based on the math, I have to give this match 5 spots of NXT. And you know I'm all about the math. But that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT party. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Colin, for joining us this afternoon, evening, whatever it is by now. We did start the show late.
It's evening.
It's 6.
It's evening.
Well, if you guys would like to join us on a future episode of this show, the NXT Party, come have a spot of NXT with us. Yeah, we review NXT UK every week. or one of the few that do, we'd like you to review it with us. So you can leave down in the comments an email address for us to get a hold of you. All you need is Skype. Just watch the show, Skype in with us. We'll talk about it on your schedule.
And a beverage.
Yeah, bring at least an empty mug.
Yeah, bring something.
You can find us on Twitter. You can find Colin on Twitter. He can get you on the show if you'd rather talk to him. He is much cooler.
Yeah.
Other than that, where else can they find, or where all can they find you, Colin?
You can find me on Twitter at NoDQ Colin Andrew. Find me on Instagram at Colin26Andrew. And I'm just going to plug them because I run them. Find me on Instagram again at aftermatch_wrestling and on Twitter at aftermatchrest, WREST, because we take the lane out of wrestling.
Whatever the fuck that means.
So, find us there, spread the word on those, and you can find me on my YouTube channel at The Cleaver Colin Andrew.
And Wrestling Fortune 44.
What's that?
He
said, and Wrestling Fortune 44.
It's an inside joke, folks.
Yeah, my bad.
4 minutes of lost footage because I can't remember people's names. That's my fault.
But you can find me there and click subscribe. Check out my latest Prime Cuts I put up last night with Big G and John Scharzer for WrestleMania 36 predictions. So you guys have nothing else to do because we're pretty much on lockdown. So like that shit, subscribe, comment, love, whatever, share it. Tell your neighbor's dog about it. I don't care. So thanks for having me on. It's been fun being back a couple weeks in a row. So
make little slips of paper.
I like this Thursday deal.
Hole punch them, and then put them on like hair bands and catch all the squirrels you can in the neighborhood and just tie them around their necks. Eventually they'll gnaw them off and they'll drop somewhere and somebody will be like, "Oh, check it out."
Kind of like the movie Wanted.
Colin Andrew.
Yeah, that works.
Meanwhile, you can find us on Twitter just by going to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. That's where you find me. You can also look me up at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
at Gerald_JSJ. My Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR exclamation point
cha cha cha.
Such a pretty exclamation point. And Colin already plugged the rest of our stuff.
Did he?
Except for Patreon.
And Instagram. You can find me.
And Instagram.
Instagram, Osborne.Stefan.
Oh, _gentleman_slaughter. And our Facebook group for Aftermatch Wrestling as well. That's public.
Yeah, he runs that. And, you can also find us on Patreon. If that doesn't give you a reason to do it, I don't know what does. Always consummate professionals. We are. Stefan R. Osborne. Yeah, if you can help the show that way, that'd be great. But mostly, if you have a few seconds, click the like button over here. Click the share button in here. Click the subscribe button over there. Like, honestly, if you'd like to help our channel grow, just share this on social media, on Facebook and Twitter and all your stuff.
Everywhere, because nobody's leaving.
Yeah, if somebody out there likes NXT UK, they might like watching us bullshit about the show. Meanwhile, for the Cleaver, Colin Andrew, for the General Jerry Slaughter, I'm Wiz Fresh Stefan Osborne. Thank you for joining us and having a spot of NXT, and we will see you NXT time.